Welcome to Bayloric TV and this edition of Inside Story. We ask the questions you want the answers to. And now our host, Ingram Jones.
Hi and welcome to another episode of Inside Story on Bayloric TV. I'm your host Ingram Jones, and on today's show we have Malik Scott, the unbeaten heavyweight that fought Glasgow and had a controversial decision. Malik Scott clearly looked like he won the fight, probably 8 rounds to 2, but he got given a draw. So we discussed with Malik that and the constant rumours of him fighting Vitaly Klitschko. And then we talked to fast rising middleweight J. Leon Love. I caught up with J. Leon Love live in Las Vegas via Skype. I was with Frank Stay from AGTG Radio, so big shout out to them for that. Yeah, got the opportunity to talk to J. Leon Love and discussed very briefly about his career, his last fight, and where he's going to move on from there. So I hope you enjoy the show. Let's get on with it. Good evening, Malik Scott.
What up, bro?
Thank you so much for talking to Bayloric TV.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Okay, before I begin, let's find a little bit more about you in terms of your record and what division you fight in.
I'm a heavyweight contender. My record is 35-0. I'm fighting this actual Saturday, February 23rd on NBC Sports. I'm fighting Caesar Glasgow, another undefeated prospect coming up. It's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be real intriguing for the fans, and I'm looking forward to it. And like I always say, I'm looking forward to staying undefeated.
Okay, so I want to know a lot more about you because obviously you've got a record of, you said 33-0?
35.
35-0. Okay, so you've got a record of 35-0. So tell us what got you into boxing first and foremost, Malik.
Well, I'm from North Philly. I was born and raised around 27th in York, the tough streets of North Philadelphia. I have a brother that he has a Blount disease, and when we used to go to school a lot of people used to tease him. So I used to, kick a lot of people's asses for those type of reasons. So I used to stay in a lot of street fights. My uncle took me to the gym from there, and I just never turned back.
Wow.
And, I got into boxing ever since.
Okay, so what was your amateur career like?
I won everything. Whatever tournament that a person can win as an amateur, I won it. I was number 1 in the country at 178 pounds when I was a junior. I was number 3 in the country when I was 165 pounds. I was number 1 in the country again when I turned open class and won the whole United States American Championship. I went to the Olympic box off. I lost in the Olympic trials, then won the Olympic trials coming back after a loss out of the losers bracket, and I lost in the box office. So I was the Olympic alternate for the year 2000.
Wow. So so during that period of time, are there any names that are currently boxing that you would have fought as an amateur that that you could remember?
That I would have fought.
Yes, as an amateur. Yes.
Like what you mean? That was in the same
Yeah, around the same time. Yes.
No. Well, when I was 201, Calvin Brock was super heavyweight.
Cool.
Dominique Gwynn, my big bro, he was super heavyweight.
Right.
I fought me and Jason Estrada. Like we come up as kids, we've been fighting each other since we've been 14 years old. I think we fought about 5 or 6 times or something like that.
Okay.
I beat him every time. He beat me the time when it counted the most. But it was a great learning experience, and yeah, we had a lot of fun together, all of us.
So what happened? Did you go to the Olympics again, or did you miss out on the Olympics?
No, I didn't go to the Olympics. I was the alternate for the Olympic team. Michael Bennett went to the Olympics.
Ah, Michael Bent. Well, Bennett or Bent?
Michael Bennett.
Okay. What did Michael Bennett end up doing?
He ended up losing to actually the world champion Felix Savon in the Olympics.
Ah.
He on Savon is though. I don't think he lost a fight in 22 years or something like that.
Yeah. Felix Savon's a bad man, eh?
Yeah, definitely, man. So Michael Bennett went over there. He lost to him by decision. It was a good fight. And, yeah, but that was that. But Michael Bennett's not even around no more. His time has gone and passed. I hope he's good wherever he's at, but my career has went skyrocket since that fight, and I haven't lost a fight since that fight. And I believe I was what 19 years old then.
Wow. So you definitely have got a winning mentality about you.
Yeah, I have to. Even if I didn't want to, I have to because like you have to really put yourself in these size shoes 14 and get into the mind of me. I haven't lost a fight since I've been 19 years old. I'm 32 now. Like just that alone, like I'm not used to. I really don't know how it feels to have, the other guy hand raised or to know how to settle for defeat like a lot of these cats. So I'm not used to that. I'm used to winning by any means and by anybody that they put in front of me. So yeah.
Okay, so name for me in your career, your career highlights. If you were going to say, right, I fought this guy, I fought this guy, and I fought this guy. 3 career highlights, or 3 opponents that you fought so far that you could say, yep.
I would have to say David Bostic, Charles Schubert, and people like to say Bowie Tupo, but that was in a fight. That was Bowie Tupo can't really fight to me. I'm just gonna stick with Charles Schubert, and I have my reasons for that because Lamont Brewster beat Vladimir Klitschko, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Charles Schubert beat Lamont Brewster, who beat Vladimir Klitschko.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I do to Charles Schubert? It was like taking candy from a baby. You know what I'm saying? So I like that fight a lot because he beat a suitable guy, and like in a way you could say I beat the man that beat the man. David Bostic was a tall, rangy dude that people thought was going to be some kind of test for me, but like taking candy from a baby. Bowie Tupo was supposed to be this big, strong dude. His one-dimensional ass. I beat him with one hand. It was like taking candy from a baby. Um, who else? But who gave me who like I could say I don't like he's probably not my most suitable opponent, but my most toughest opponent is a guy named Louis Monaco. He's a guy. He's about 5'10". He knocked out Buster Douglas. He knocked out a lot of guys. His record is something stupid: 24 wins, 35 losses, 11 knockouts. But he's a crushing. Everybody know about this dude. Well, I fought him. I beat him by split decision the first time. I fought him a year later and blew him out in 8 rounds. So he's a tough guy. I don't know where he is at now, but uh, you know, uh, he's like a gatekeeper for heavyweight prospects that was coming up during my time. And I fought him, and I fought him twice, and I beat him both times.
So,
But I got a list of journeymen that I fought, a list of them, and I can't even remember right now. I have 35 fights, man. I got to actually look at my record on paper to see what's what.
so in terms of you coming into this fight, a lot of people saying that Glasgow is your big test, your coming out fight. What do you respond? How do you respond to this?
Uh, it's easy. It's pragmatic. That's exactly what it is. He's got. I, I keep telling people I brag about this kid pedigree more than anything. You can't take nobody like that has over 300 amateur fights.
Mm.
That been to the Olympic Games 2 times. I think most people are lucky to go 1 time. I think this kid has went twice.
He has.
Both times. He's young. He's hungry. From what I'm hearing, he got a crazy work ethic, but his skill level is not nowhere near mine. And like I said, it's going to be an intriguing fight, and it's an interesting fight. It's going to be an exciting fight. I think it's a perfect fight for NBC Sports. I think would make the fight very interesting. It's going to be very entertaining because at this point of our career, we both don't have time to lose our O. But somebody O must go, and I believe I'm the best man. So saying that, the best man will win.
So you've definitely taken an opponent. Nobody can say that Glasgow is a bum. Glasgow has got he's got a good amateur pedigree. He's just finished beating Tor Hamer. I think you saw the fight with Tor Hamer. What do you think of the Tor Hamer fight?
That wasn't no fight. Tor Hamer quit. Like I don't even touch that subject because I'm not like I can't salute a fighter. We're warriors. So for you to be in a fight and actually go to your corner and quit, and Glasgow didn't even pick it up on him yet. So, but then if you know Tor Hamer and you watch this dude talk and you watch how they move, he's not a real passionate person about boxing. I've watched people do interviews with him. He'll basically say, "Guys, can you hurry up because I have to go and take a shit and y'all taking too long to do this interview." He really doesn't care. And if you don't care about them type of things, your passion and your ambition is not really into boxing. And when he fought somebody that actually could fight after 3 rounds, because he actually went over in Europe and won a tournament that was a 3-round tournament. But when he fought a real fighter and got into a real fight after 3 rounds, he quit in the 4th round. So he stuck to his script. He gave it, I guess, what you call that. He gave it his all, I guess. But I don't like to touch on that subject because I really can't respect a quitter, like especially quitting on your stool. We warriors, man. Like, you know what I mean? I put my body through the preparation to be ready for catastrophe. Like I'm not Tor Haim. I'm nobody this kid has fought. If he think he gonna come in here with me and just do what he want like he did with Tor Hamer, he got another thing coming. Don Turner and them talking some shit saying once he hit me, he gonna knock me silly. I'm gonna need my track shoes. They got another thing coming. This kid is not gonna have to look for me. I'm gonna be in his face all night long, and my jab is gonna be speaking language. Get out my face language. So he got a lot to deal with me. He got a lot to deal with me next week. And like I said, the fight is going to be entertaining. This kid can fight, and his pedigree speaks for itself. So it's entertaining for not just me and him, for the fans as well.
So of course, some fans would say, without looking at your track record and looking at your boxing skill, would say, "Oh, this is it, Malik Scott, 35-0. Yeah, who's he fought?" Because people love to go on BoxRec and go, "Oh, 35-0. Oh, he ain't fought no one." I mean, if you ain't fought a Klitschko, you ain't fought no one. So they'll say, "Oh, Malik Scott ain't nobody." They're very quick to dismiss somebody. So they expect Malik Scott to get in the ring against Glasgow. And according to the script, you're meant to fall down and get knocked out. And, that's the script. But I'm sure you're aware of that script. I'm sure you're aware of what people are already saying about Malik Scott.
Most people are saying that it's people that don't know me.
Mm.
So they supposed to go right along with only what they know. If
Absolutely.
all they know is Glasgow and they don't know me, we human beings, so logically they're going to go with Glasgow because that's all they know. But people that know my boxing ability and know my skill level and know my track record, they got to fight 50-50. You know what I'm saying? All the analysts and all the commentators, like, yeah, they may like Glasgow, they may like me, but they really like, this is a good fight. This is an intriguing fight for both fighters. So, like, as far as the bloggers and all that, I mean, all that is entertainment. I don't have no haters. I just got naysayers, and a naysayer is a person with an opinion, and I appreciate all of that. But either way, that's going to change. That doesn't change the outcome of this fight. I believe I'm going to be victorious, and I'm looking forward to staying undefeated.
So, Champ, I mean, how is it? I mean, in terms of Malik Scott, how comes, especially in the UK or in Europe, your name isn't as big as, let's say, someone like a Brian Jennings or let's even more so Deontay Wilder, and you fought a lot more fights than these guys have. How comes we don't know as much about you as we should? Hence the reason why I'm chasing you up to get this interview, because I want to know more about you.
Well, I believe, like I said, man, everything happened for a reason. I've been to Europe one time, and that was over there when I just went to Belgium and excuse me. I went to Belgium and went over there with Tyson Fury. Deontay and Brian Jennings are doing a great job. They don't have no mishaps. They haven't had no injuries. They haven't had really no promotion and managerial problems. Deontay is a huge puncher. He's 27-0 with 27 knockouts. You can ask about him with that record anywhere in the world, and everybody's going to know him. Brian Jennings, he did so much in such short little time, so he deserves the recognition that he's getting right now. My career, what I'm doing, and what I've been through as far as my ups and downs, like I guess I have the recognition that I deserve right now. But neither here nor there. All of that is going to change after Saturday night.
So you talk about promotional issues. These are the sort of things I'm really interested in because, a lot of people that are not in the know just think, oh, there's this guy, he turns up, he's got a manager, he's got a promotional team, he fights, he wins, he loses, and that's it. But there's a lot more to it. What have been the struggles for Malik Scott as a professional fighter?
Well, at one time I couldn't get the big fights that I was trying to get, and I was getting frustrated with my promotional team because they had other heavyweights that was getting great opportunities, and I didn't think, as always, none of them heavyweights was better than me. So it was at times I was getting frustrated and going through mishaps and back and forth with my promoter, but it all came from frustration because I wasn't getting the shots that I thought I deserved. They was giving me rinky-dink shots and having me fight on rinky-dink shows when I thought I should have been on the big stage. So, I'm going back and forth with that enough, like, that was getting frustrating. There was times that I would just push away and I would stay in the gym. And my actual manager that I was dealing with at the time, he was actually like fighting that cause against them with me as well. So it was just a lot of catastrophe going on, and like we wasn't happy. Me and Gusa, we came to a great understanding. Dan is not only my promoter, he also is a good friend of mine. You
Great.
know, as you can see, he gave me the green light, and I have a great opportunity this Saturday, and I'm gonna take full advantage of it.
I want to give you an example of something. A guy who fought in the UK, and his name was Jose Alushigan. Did you know who Jose Alushigan was?
Jose Lucian. No,
He fought Lucas Matisse.
I don't know him, but I know Lucas Matisse.
Okay, you know Lucas Matisse. Well, that was the fight, the fight before the last fight Lucas Matisse had. And his story was, politically, nobody wanted to fight Alushigan because Alushigan's style was one that was, let's say, to put it in a nutshell, awkward. All right? He was an awkward son of a gun. Guy could fight, don't get me wrong, he can fight. But he was awkward, very, very awkward. And for 2 years, Eric Morales didn't want to fight him. A lot of guys didn't want to fight him because of that awkward style. And then suddenly he went, all right, you want your title shot? We'll give you a title shot. We'll put you against Lucas Matisse, who's known as pound for pound one of the biggest punchers in the world and one of the most explosive fighters in the world. So you're going to fight against him. So he's stuck in with the situation that you want your opportunity. Well, if you beat Lucas Matisse, you become world champion. But the odds are so stacked against him that, you know, you take that fight, you swim or you sink. And you know, in the end, because of the fight, he ends up getting knocked out by Matisse. Nobody remembers the fact that Alushigan was a pretty good fighter. They'll just remember that Alushigan got wiped out. So people forget about Alushigan. Is there a possibility that Malik Scott fighting Glazkov is simply, you want your shot champ, here's your shot champ, swim or sink?
Yeah, or shit will get off the pot. Either
That's
way,
it.
I've been saying that my whole training camp. But I'm gonna take full advantage of this opportunity. So like, you know, as far as what people say, like I was blessed with the gift to block people out and really not listen to human beings and just listen to the spirit that God is over me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially the bigger the moment, the more calmer I am. And you will see, like, you know, you're going to see how calm and cool, collective I become Saturday night, how nothing is going to rattle me, how I'm going to stick behind a strong jab, how I'm going to make this guy run into all of my shots, and I'm going to do it like I know it's supposed to be done. That was an unfortunate thing that happened with, what's the cat name that you just talked about?
Alushigan.
That was an unfortunate situation. But listen, in this game, you have boxing people that know they shit, then you have boxing people that don't know shit. And I'm just people that I know my shit. So that type of story, it wouldn't come across to me like, oh, that kid just known for getting knocked out by Matisse. No, because I do my homework. Like, you know, I'm a scientist when it comes to boxing, not just entering on the outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a pugilist specialist. So, like, I don't look at that like, I look at that like that kid was fighting. He's still a good fighter. He fought a great fight in Matisse. And when his time came, he got blew out by a great fighter. We living in a time now that if you lose a fight, the first thing people want to do is write you off. We're fighters. We're gladiators. Somebody has to win. Somebody has to lose. See, that's what makes me different than a lot of these cats. And when I say cats, I'm not even talking about the fighters. I'm talking about just people that deal with boxing, period. Like, I'm not too good. I beat 35 people. Stopped 11. I'm not too good. Those are blessings. I'm not too good for that to not happen to me. Like, do I believe in my ability? Do I believe in my skill? Is it going to be very hard for somebody to do what I did to other people to do to me? Yes. But I'm still aware that, like, you know what I mean? I put my all in my training camp. I'm sure Glasgow put his all in his training camp. He feel good. Down turning them is expressing himself. I feel great. As you can see, I'm fired up. I'm expressing myself and may the best man win. And it's just a coincidence that I believe I'm the best man. So I believe I'm going to win. But all of that shit right there, like people want to knock that kid down there for Matisse, that's all bullshit. And like, you know, and if he listened to any of it, you know, he considered just as worse as them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things can happen. And half of the people that have an opinion about this sport has never even been on the big stage in their life. They wouldn't know what it feels like to walk across a stage in front of people. Better yet, fight on a stage in front of people. So boxers, we the special human beings, and I'm happy I'm a fighter. I love my job, even though through its ups and downs. It has made me a great human being. It has allowed me to love myself and separate myself from, like you could say, the typical human being. because everybody can do this. If this shit was easy, everybody would be doing it. But there's so many people that have so many opinions, which is cool. They're naysayers. They're not haters. Just because somebody say you can't, that's not hating on me if somebody think Roscoe can beat me. That's not logical of me to think that's hate. Like, you know what I mean? I can have naysayers, like, because it's my job to make them people say, you know what? Malik Scott beat Glasgow. Now they're my fans. And they not, and when people fuck with me, they don't just like me in the ring. I'm one of them human beings that people say, you know what, this dude's a good fighter and he's a great human being. Superstar. You know what I'm saying? So like a great fight Saturday. NBC has got the right heavyweights on the chart. And I'm looking forward to it, and I just want Glasgow and Don Turner and everybody else to show up.
Thing is, who is your trainer, Malik?
Jesse Reed, but I come from Athletic Rec Center. Fred Jenkins, the same trainer that Brian Jennings come from. That's the cloth I'm from.
Okay.
I have had great trainers from Joe Goose to Jesse Reed to Al Mitchell to Harold Knight.
Harold Knight. There's a name from Alex Lewis's corner.
Absolutely. So, like, you know what I mean? I'm a well-schooled fighter all around. Like, you know what I mean? My brain is clear. My skills is magnificent. My reflexes is awesome. And, you know, I just can't wait to fight, man. I'm extremely excited about Saturday.
Let me ask you a question. Now, you're 35-0 with 11 knockouts. Now, promoters will look at that and say, yeah, he's got skills and he can box, but his punch power, he's got 11 knockouts. Would that not be, for yourself, how do you, obviously you'll have to rely on more skills than having anyone who's a heavyweight obviously can punch, but your ratio of knockouts don't equate to your fights. How do you deal with that?
I just be me and swim without getting wet and keep hitting and not getting hit. And, you know, it's up to the opponents to deal with that. It's up to the people to judge that. All I do is me and keep my ass in training camp and try to get better at things that I'm considered not good at, which is not. See, this is another thing, too, that separates me. You got fighters that have mishaps and they have things that they can't do. So they're actually stuck in them ways. It's nothing I can't do in the ring. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, they say I can't punch. Okay, I can go and work on having decent punching power like I have. I could work on getting strength. I could work on, but can they work on going to get natural boxing ability? No, they can't do that. You know why? Because this shit is not on you. It got to be in you. This is God-given ability that I have. If you go and lift weights and you eat right and you don't have sex and you strong, your punching power 9 times out of 10 improves. But what can you do to get these incredible boxing skills that I have? It's not too much because it's God-given. So when they ask me that, I tell them to go get their best heavyweight and put his skills up against mine. And we'll see who come out. Those conversations don't come up because you know what? That's too logical. That's too real. That's too true. You know what I'm saying?
But it's the sort of conversation I want, brother. That's the sort of conversations I like to have because that's, you know, this is how you speak and people want to hear. This is how people get to know about a boxer because they see a guy on television, they get all these scripted questions answered them. Yeah, we're going to have a good fight. Yeah, going to be a tough fight. Yeah, I'm in the best shape of my life. But that doesn't tell me anything about Malik Scott. This is telling me more about you. Had I not done this interview with you, I would not have known any other thing. I wouldn't know Malik Scott had such personality and such. I wouldn't have known. I really wouldn't.
Right.
So this is why I'm doing the interview, because I'm getting to know a lot more about Malik Scott.
Yeah, and that also makes you great at your job by doing that, because you're doing your homework. Like I've been doing my homework in this game since I got in it. So see, me and you, we already have something in common. We're passionate about our craft.
Absolutely.
You do your homework and I do mine, baby.
So you talked about Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury has done 2 interviews with me in a very short space of time, and his trainer Peter Fury. I've done an interview with him as well.
That's his uncle.
Yes, his uncle. So I do believe you did. You said you were in the camp. You did some sparring with Tyson Fury.
Yeah, hell yeah.
How did you find that?
Very challenging. Tyson Fury is the real deal. I tell everybody he can fight because that's the truth. I don't talk shit. I talk truth, and I talk from experience. And my experience being in the ring with him, and me being one of the best natural boxers ever to come through the game, I think he's a force to be reckoned with. That kid can punch. He's extremely big. He's extremely mobile. He's in great shape right now. So if they're looking for that Tyson Fury that was 270, they got another thing coming. I think he'll give any of the Klitschko's problems, and I think he's going to do big things in the heavyweight division.
A lot of people talk about him versus David Price. How do you see that fight?
I'm not as impressed with David Price as I am with Tyson Fury. I would have to lean towards Tyson Fury with that fight because David Price doesn't seem as mobile. I don't see real dominant boxing skills with David Price, but the kid can fight though. Like he smoked Ollie Harrison in one round. He's ready to fight Tony Thompson.
He's fighting this weekend. He's fighting at the same time.
Yeah, Tony Thompson is a different test than Ollie Harrison, but we're gonna see if he passes this test. But both of them can fight. But I'm not only a friend of Tyson Fury, I'm actually a fan of his too. So he's gonna do big things. And like I said, I like him against either Klitschko. Like I think he'll give any of them trouble. And yeah.
Steve Cunningham, the rumored that those two are going to fight on April 20th.
Who, Tyson and Steve Cunningham?
Steve Cunningham and Tyson making his American debut on April 20th at Madison Square Garden. That's the story.
Well, that's a good fight. Steve is my fellow Philadelphian. He's another great fighter. His heart is so huge. He's got great skills. He has a great coach in Nazim Richardson.
Yes.
That's the type of fights that need to be made though. Malik Scott versus Glasgow, Tyson Fury versus Steve Cunningham. The division get back hot. Because right now it's about to get back scorching, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because you got me and Glasgow. We starting it off the revolution of prospects fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen that in a while in the heavyweight division. Imagine if Tyson and Riddick Bowe was fighting coming up. Lennox and Tyson fighting coming up. Holyfield and Lennox and Tyson and Henry Tillman and all guys fighting coming up. They all waited till they got to the peak of their career and then fought. I think it should start as prospects because then you get the fine level of the best once he's number one. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good thing, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. It's history. I'm a part of it, and I plan on making history Saturday night, 23rd. Man, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
What do you think of the situation with Seth Mitchell and Jonathan Banks? Because Seth Mitchell got knocked out by Jonathan Banks, and now they're looking at the return. How do you feel about it?
I think Seth. I'm not really. I think he. I don't know. I think Seth Mitchell. Not a hype job, but everybody knew it was a matter of time before he got knocked out. I was trying to get to his ass. Deontay was trying to get to him. From what I'm hearing, Brian Jennings was trying to get to him. There's been a couple cats that's been trying to get to him. Jonathan Banks was the first one to get to him, and he exposed something that everybody already knew, that Seth is he's a strong guy, but he's limited with his skill because of his experience. You know what I'm saying? So Jonathan exposed him, and I was expecting to see the rematch because at the same time, even though Jonathan exposed me, I wouldn't be surprised if Seth ended up coming back and beating him in a fight. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how we go. I wanted to see that actually before my fight, but since I'm fighting now,
you're the man of the show now.
Right. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I'm just hoping to get the winner. I don't whoever wins is cool, but I want the winner.
Let's say you go ahead, you beat Glasgow. What's the next fight for Malik Scott? Where would Malik Scott want to be next?
Vladimir Klitschko or Vitaly Klitschko, either or.
Either one. You don't mind.
Yeah, I'm not looking to fight no other prospect after Glasgow. I want to shout out the heavyweight championship of the world, and whichever Klitschko is available, that's the one that I want to fight.
6'7" and 6'8" heavyweights. I mean, you spar with Tyson Fury. Do you think that would be the sort of preparation you would need to prepare for a Klitschko?
Yeah. Well, I just need that look of that height, period. You know what I'm saying? Big 6'7", 6'8" mobile guys. I got a couple guys actually over here in California that will fit that script perfect for me. Yeah, you just need them tall guys when you fight Klitschko. You got to get your mind right into breaking them trees down.
What will it take to beat a Klitschko now, to break the Klitschko hold on the heavyweight division?
I believe you got to be over 6'2". I believe you cannot be slow. I believe you have to be prepared to take punishment, very little of it as possible, but you got to be prepared to get hit, and you got to put your body through torture. because they come, especially Vladimir now. He comes and he put it all on the line, and he doesn't stop until the 12th round bell say ding. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, there's some trees, but there's some trees that could be chopped down, and I'm looking forward to chopping one of them down ASAP.
Malik Scott, thank you so much for talking to Bayloric TV. We wish you the very best against Glasgow this Saturday night.
I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you so much.
All right, call me for anything.
Thank you. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye. That was Malik Scott talking about his recent fight with Glasgow. And now for the second part on Inside Story, J. Leon Love, who I spoke to live from Las Vegas at the Richard Abreu fight. Hey J. Leon, how are you?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I can hear him a little bit. What's up, my man?
You alright?
Yeah, everything's good.
So how are you doing after your fight?
You can hear him? You can hear him?
No, a little bit. We can't hear him.
Volume up. Volume up.
Yeah, a little.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Right. So how do you feel after your last fight?
Oh, we won. It was a tough one, but we won. We got the victory.
But you need these testing fights. You know, if you're going to go forward in your career, you definitely need the testing fights.
I didn't hear it. Say that again one more time.
I said, in these tough fights, in these fights that you're having, these development fights, you need them to become a better fighter, of course.
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely need those tough fights. That's what's gonna make me better.
Absolutely. I mean, if you don't by having these development fights, what did you learn from that fight compared to knocking somebody out in a couple of rounds?
Man, it just make you think. I learned to use my brain. I mean, I'm always in shape to go whatever rounds, but you know what I mean? It's a thinking game. These people, these tough guys are coming to take your head off, and it's not all sweet in every round. So you got to learn how to adjust. You got to learn how to think under pressure. So that's what I learned. I learned to think under pressure. I've always had that knowing how to keep my composure, but you know what I mean? You still, it's hard to think under pressure like that.
But it must give you great courage.
Yeah.
Nah, that's the best. Oh, no, I get it up. Hey, Ingram, hold on, man.
Yeah, cool. Okay. I don't want to be you guys. I want to be there. I want to be there now. So, in terms of this fight, instead of knocking somebody out and you going as long as you had to go, how does that done? What has that done for you as a fighter in your sense? Instead of blowing somebody out in a couple of rounds, what have you learned from this fight?
Oh man, it gives me tremendous confidence. You know what I mean? It's good confidence. It shows that I'm always in shape. It lets me know, you got what it takes. You can go in there and bang with the best of them under pressure, or whatever it is you got to do. So it just, you know what I mean? I always have confidence in myself. I mean, I work hard day in and day out, but this really let me know that, you know what I'm saying, it's paying off. Now,
if I'm right in saying, I might have got this wrong, but wasn't Floyd Mayweather in your corner?
That was different. That was different, man. That was like a first in history. So, you know what I mean? It was great. I mean, you couldn't get better advice from any other fighter as well, or trainer.
What does it make you feel like to sit in the corner, and you may be having a tough fight, and you got, hold on, I've got Floyd Mayweather in my corner. How can I lose? How can I possibly lose?
Yeah. I mean, it gives you confidence. It lets you know that, I'm in here, but I should be well taken care of when I come back to this corner. I know that I'm gonna get the right instructions to do what I got to do.
So, I mean, I know a little bit about your career. I mean, is Floyd Mayweather is he actually managing you, promoting you, or how does it work?
He's my promoter.
He's your promoter. So he's your promoter. Who would be your manager then?
My manager is Al Heyman.
You're with Al Heyman, right, yeah. Right. So they're looking after you then.
Yeah, most definitely.
So how do you feel being with Al Heyman is different to being with other promoters and other managers? How is it different for you going out? Why go to Al Heyman, for example?
I mean, it's definitely a blessing to be in the position I am with Mayweather Promotions and Al Heyman. But Al Heyman is the power strike in boxing. I mean, obviously he has a lot of power and pulls a lot of strings and gets things, you know what I'm saying, done. But I mean, it's definitely a blessing, like I said. You know, why Al Heyman? Because he's the best. That's hands down. He's one of the best. He's known to be one of the best. People have their different opinions about him, but as a fighter and me knowing him, he's one of the best, definitely.
So in terms of your career now, you've just come out having a tough fight. I mean, you'll take some time to rest. What are your plans? What do you want to do in the next, say, 12 months? What's the plan for JD and Love? What's your plan now? What are you going to do next?
Like I said, just keep getting these. Yeah, just keep getting these tough fights under my belt. You know what I mean? If not tough, you know what I'm saying? Just learn good fights, exciting fights. I need that. I don't want to fight up bums. Like you said earlier, you know, you don't learn nothing from knocking guys out in 1 or 2 or 3 rounds. You know what I mean? You don't learn nothing from that. So I need guys that's gonna take me to 10-round distances, or, you know, in those later rounds, to give me that hard work and make me think and make me work. So at the end of the day, man, I'm made for this. God created me for this. You know what I mean? And then this is what I love doing. I do this day in and day out. I don't mess around. I'm running. I'm doing sit-ups all day. We go to the gym. We leave the gym. Go back to the gym. This is my life. So at the end of the day, I go full blast at it, 100%.
So why are you in boxing? A lot of guys go, are you in it for the money? Are you in it for the glory? What's your driving force in boxing?
Well, you gotta love the sport to do it. I mean, boxing is not for everybody, obviously. You know what I mean? We get guys in here that get hit one time and leave and never come back and do it again. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta run. You gotta do sit-ups. You gotta spar. You gotta. It comes with a whole lot of hard work. And please, I mean, I still would, if I had an easy job as a lawyer, or, you know what I mean, something like that, I still wouldn't do it. I still would pick boxing over. But I love it, man. It's something I always wanted to do. I've been good at fighting since I was a kid. So, you know, it's not about money. It's not about none of that. I mean, obviously, I'm making money and I'm you know, on TV and I'm building a name for myself. But I mean, I just want to, when I was a kid, man, I used to be so bad in the street. I used to tell my mom, maybe she should get life insurance out on me, because maybe one day I won't come home.
Wow.
And look at me now. You know what I mean? Look at me now. I'm making a name for myself. A kid that comes from the streets. You know what I mean? On TV, performing in front of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. You know what I mean? People know my name in the UK. People know my name all over the world. And here it is, man. That's what I love. I love the fans. I love the support. I love people saying nothing but good things about me. Even if it's bad things, I feel it's good. You know, somebody's speaking my name, so I feel that's great.
Well, listen to this. I mean, now you've got that. You're getting that exposure. You're getting your name out there. You're part of Al Heyman's team. You're the guy that's next to Mayweather. You know, you've got all that. You're moving. You've got swag. What happens in terms of now? You're going to have ladies all around you. You know, there's drinking, there's parties, there's bling bling. How do you keep focused in all of that and still achieve your dream to obviously go on to be a world champion?
Can you repeat that? I heard the ladies part, but keep that going. Go back.
So, in terms of the ladies, the bling bling, how do you keep yourself focused in a time where all this stuff is around that maybe you never experienced before, and now you're getting it at the highest level? How do you keep your head when other men will lose theirs?
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you got to think. I'm looking forward. He drives all the nice cars that we all dream about. Has a big mansion. The thing is this. It's all motivation when I see it. When I see him with it. When he pulls up in Lamborghinis and Ventadors and Phantom Rolls Royces, and, you know what I'm saying? Treating his whole team to dinner and tipping these waitresses. And, you know, changing their lives forever, doing stuff like that. That's stuff that I dream about doing. You know, we all dream about it. We all want to be wealthy and successful. So at the end of the day, I look at that and I can say, well, I got a chance to see somebody else with it, but I got a chance to actually have it in my own. So that's what it is. It's not mine, and that's what it is. I want it. I want all that. I want all the glitz, the glam, the glory, all that. I want all of it. I can't lie. At the end of the day, I got to work hard to get it, and that's what my drive is. At the end of the day, guys get content with just this little bit of stuff. This is small right now. You know what I mean? This is small. I mean, I'm great. grateful, and I thank God for everything that I do have. But this is small stuff right now. I mean, there's no limit to what you can do in this sport. The sport has changed. We got some of the highest paid athletes coming out of this sport of boxing. So at the end of the day, it's no limit to what you can do, and that's my drive, and that's what keeps me focused and hungry.
So you're tonight at the Richard Abril fight. Are you there? Are you there to spy on anybody? Or are you there because you're supporting a teammate, or are you just there to just chill for the night? What is it? What is it?
Man, I love boxing. Yeah, I love boxing. So if it's a show, an amateur show, I'm there. It don't matter. I go to the amateur shows. We watch the little kids spar. I'm always at the shows and whatever fights they have. But we got a guy, Luis Aries, that's on our team under Mayweather Promotion.
Right.
He fought the second fight and stopped this guy with a body shot. So we was all here. Our whole team is here to support him, man. You know what I mean? He's always at our fights. He fought just recently on the card with me in Detroit. So, you know, he's right back. So we always support each other. We a family. We always here for each other. So that's where I'm at. I love boxing. So if it's boxing and I can make it to England, I'm going to be there, whatever it is I got to
Right, you mentioned England. I'm glad you mentioned England because I was just about to make that point. Even though I am born in the UK, I'm from London. I'm now living in the Caribbean. I'm in Grenada now, so I don't know how much you know about the Caribbean. But we can talk about England. Let's go there. We'll talk about the UK.
Okay.
So tell me, you know the UK, you know the UK fighters. Who in your division would you be looking at in the future?
Let me see. You just had Felix Sturm to just fought, right?
That's you. That's Europe. That's Germany.
German. Okay.
That's Germany.
Okay. Let me see who else you got.
The middleweight or super middleweight? Middle or super middle here?
Matthew Macklin. Oh yeah, that's a tough dude. That's a good guy. I would love to fight any of them. Get them all. We can get them all. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I think that's good. We can get. I would love to come over there and fight. I would love that. Yo, you got some of the best fans in the game from the UK, from England. You got some of the greatest fans ever around from England.
Well, hey,
so at the end of the day,
hey, listen, you can shout them all out now. You can shout them all out. Name all the UK fighters now. Name them. Call them out, because we'll put the video out.
Yo, if I knew all their names, I don't know everybody now. Sometimes I watch them fight. You know what I mean? I get to see them fight. But any of them, what'd you say? Martin Murray, Dan Barker. Yeah, we can get Dan Barker. Matthew Macklin.
We've got a guy. Have you heard of Chris Eubank Jr.?
Say that one more time.
Chris Eubank Jr.
Eubank, the little kid.
Junior.
Yeah, Junior, right?
Yeah, you haven't heard about him.
No, we can line him up. It don't really matter. You know what I mean? Well, that's all I love.
You know, he's simply the best.
You said it again.
He's simply the best. Chris Eubank Jr.
He's simply the best over there. You gotta leave the backyard to become the best, and that's what I'm willing to do.
So you're promising us as a champion, you will fight everywhere. You are not going to stay at home and stay in your backyard and fight.
No. I mean, you got fans all over the world. You got fans. I had a fan write me from Dubai. If I could go to Dubai and fight tomorrow, I would. If I could go to England and fight tomorrow, I would. Yo, you gotta get the fans what they want, and they want fights. But at the end of the day, what am I? I mean, obviously, I'm still coming up and I'm moving up the ranks and things like that. But if I had a chance when I do become at that top level and can dictate a lot more, we'd definitely be having fights in the UK and fighting the best from over in the UK.
Well, that would be amazing to see you fighting. I mean, so okay, what are you going to try and do next for your next couple of fights? What is your plan? What's the plan now? What sort of fight are you going to try and go for now in the next 6 to 12 months? Where are you trying to move towards?
Right now we got Peter Quillen. We got the Triple D G dude, that guy. Sergio Martinez. What other guys you got? You got a lot of guys. I just want to get to the top and be able to face the ones that they call the best. They said it's Triple G, whatever his name is, Galapagos or whatever.
But listen, Triple G. I'm going to say it now before anybody else says it. For me, Rosado showed he can be beaten very easily.
I'm gonna have you repeat that.
To me, I believe Triple G is very beatable because he fights a lot with his face. He's a guy that you could probably time very well with a good jab if you've got a good movement. Rosado came up and fought him, and for 5 rounds, Rosado put on a very good fight against him.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I agree. Listen, you got to think. He's fighting guys that are not natural middleweights. He fought a Rosado his last fight, who came from 54.
That's some point.
You know, and he was scared. That man was a scared fighter in there. To me, he was. I mean, I done seen Rosado fight plenty of times, and he didn't. I seen him be aggressive. I seen him do different things, and he was scared from round one. But I'm not afraid of nobody. And at the end of the day, I can punch just as well. You know what I mean? So, it just comes down to that, man. You know, you're fighting the best.
Peter Quillen's fighting, isn't he? Soon, isn't he? Peter
Say
Quillen.
it again.
Peter Quillen.
Peter Quillen is a champion.
Yeah.
In the middleweight division. I mean, he's not a champ. These guys are not champions for no reason. But at the end of the day, I eventually got to get to the top, and I got to face the best. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Before I know you've got to shoot off, but before you go, let everybody know about your Twitter page. What's your Twitter page?
My Twitter page is @JLeonLove, @JLEONLOVE. Follow me, retweet me. What you know, the whole Twitter fear thing. Hit me up, and then I got the Instagram. My Instagram, they call me Instagram Sam, but it's it's @JLeonLove again, @JLEONLOVE. And then we got the Facebook, my name, @JLeonLove or JLeonLove, J'_LEON, last name Love, LOVE.
Dion Love, thank you so much for talking to Bayloric TV.
So there you have it. 2 interviews for the price of 1. Malik Scott talking about the future, and he's ready to fight any Klitschko. And then you have J. Leon Love, the fast rising middleweight, who is managed by Al Heyman, and the first fights I'd seen to have the assistance of Floyd Mayweather in the corner. When you've got Floyd Mayweather in your corner, that must be great and inspiring and empowering to any fighter. So wishing J. Leon Love all the very best in his career, and we look forward to catching up with him in the near future to do an in-depth interview with him. I'd like to take this opportunity again to thank everybody that's been supportive of the Inside Story. Don't forget you can watch the shows, this show and many others, at www.bayloricworldwide.com. Repeat, www.bayloricworldwide.com. Thank you for your support. Thank you to all the guests that have made Inside Story possible, and we look forward to doing this again soon. Take care now. Goodbye.